So you guys may remember a little while back when Marvel Spider-Man 2 first came out, there were rumors that Insomniac might be listening to the fans in regards to a Venom game. You know, a lot of people out there would love to see a solo Venom game, kind of in the vein of Spider-Man and Miles Morales, a bit smaller, a bit more self-contained, something that doesn't necessarily have to have massive ramifications on the future of the franchise. I mean, after that incredible mission in Marvel Spider-Man 2 where you get to play as Venom, we're all just hoping and praying we can get our hands on this character for something that's a bit more fleshed out, and as well have an opportunity to maybe have an open world to be free roaming around with Venom. Insomniac were quoted all the way back when the game first had come out, when asked on Insider's Here interview with John Paquette, who's one of the lead writers working at Insomniac Games. He said, "So, here's what we're gonna do. We're focused on Spider-Man 2, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait to see how the fans react. We're gonna listen to the fans, and we're gonna ask ourselves, okay, what do the fans really want?" That's just such a specific tease there, if you're asking me. For him to say that Insomniac is gonna sit back, wait for Spider-Man 2 to come out, look at what the fans' response is, and now seeing that the fans' response is pretty much unanimous that we want a Venom game, it makes me feel like that this is absolutely, at the very least, something that Insomniac is heavily considering right now. Obviously, it'll be a little difficult considering what happened at the ending of Marvel Spider-Man 2, but I mean, we know that there is another symbiote out there. We know that Cletus Cassidy has got a vial of a symbiote, and it's obviously going to lead to him becoming Carnage. So it could end up being that maybe there was another one. Maybe there are several symbiotes that Oscorp had been working on and they end up getting out into the wild, and Venom might be the one to have to stop them. I don't know. I'm not a writer, so don't ask me to make the game pitch on this here. We just want to play as the character, okay? And I know as well that there are plenty of people out there, Eddie Brock fans, who want to see that character be the host for Venom. And considering the fate of Harry, considering the fate of just the symbiote that existed for Venom within Marvel Spider-Man 2, that could end up being the case. Maybe we could see Eddie Brock introduced for a Venom game. Maybe we could see you guys hitting the like button if you want to see a Venom game. I think that's something that's totally possible. But today, what I wanted to talk about is potential evidence that there might be a Venom game on the way, or at least that there might be more Venom stuff coming for Marvel Spider-Man 2. You see, Tony Todd, our resident voice of Venom in this game, the incredible voice of Venom in this game, was recently at Fan Expo San Francisco. He was actually there alongside Najee Jeter, the voice of Miles Morales. And they talked a lot about Marvel Spider-Man 2. They talked a lot about their work on the game. They talked about some deleted scenes, which we're going to get into in a future video. But also, Tony Todd said something that caught the interest of a lot of people online. He said specifically during this panel that apparently in Marvel Spider-Man 2, out of all the voice work that he had done for Venom in this game, Insomniac has used only 10% of it. That means that there's still 90% of his recorded work as Venom that's just unseen right now, and some people are actually speculating that that could be because a Venom game is coming, and that's what that other 90% was for. Some people are even speculating that maybe it has something to do with DLC. If we're gonna get a DLC expansion for Marvel Spider-Man 2, which honestly is highly likely, then maybe there's gonna be some more Venom content in there. Maybe there's gonna be another playable Venom mission in there, and then we can get more of Tony Todd's incredible performance as this character. But some people are also saying, you know, maybe this is proof actually that there's just a ton of cut content and that this game was maybe rushed out the door. I wholeheartedly disagree with that, and honestly, I think it might even end up being neither of the theories that are out there right now. I think this is just one of those cases, guys, where sometimes when you're doing voice work, especially for a project as big as Marvel Spider-Man 2, you're going to be in the recording booth for a while. You're going to be recording things that might not make it into the game. And that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you're going to put millions of dollars into an incredible scene for a film that seems great on paper, that looked great when you shot it, but when you look at it in the context of the full film, it doesn't work. That scene gets cut. It might look like a ton of resources went into that one scene, but that's just the business. That's just the way that things work. And maybe Tony Todd as well is exaggerating the number. Maybe he just means that there was a lot of what he had done with the voice work for Venom that didn't end up making the final cut of Marvel Spider-Man 2. And it is what it is. Honestly, for me, I was very happy with what we got out of Venom, with what we got out of this entire game. I still truly think that it's a masterpiece, and I feel like most people that don't live chronically online, live chronically on Twitter, pretty much agree. And it's okay if you disagree about that. You know, if you didn't like what they did with Venom in this game, if you didn't like what they did in the third act, that's totally understandable. I respect your opinion. I'm just saying that for me, I was thoroughly satisfied. Do I wish we would have gotten more? Do I wish that we will get more? Of course. I mean, I want as much Venom as possible. I love this interpretation of Venom. I love Tony Todd's performance as Venom in this game. So if there was an opportunity to get more, yes, please. And would I want more? Also, yes, please. But am I upset with what we got? I mean, me personally, no. So what I think happened here, honestly, is that he just recorded a ton of stuff for Venom, and some of it just didn't work in the full context of the game. But also, I mean, yeah, there is certainly a chance here that a lot of what he had recorded wasn't used because of the fact that it's going to be used in a future content drop or maybe a game. Considering John Paquette's quote, considering what Insomniac has said on release day for Marvel Spider-Man 2, how they're gonna listen to the fans. I mean, that's definitely not out of the realm of possibility that Venom is gonna have his own solo title at some point in the future from Insomniac. There's also even more evidence that some people have tried to bring up as to the fact that a Venom game could be in the works. Very recently, Insomniac finally allowed a lot of the artists who had worked on Marvel Spider-Man 2 to post some of their concept art and in general their work on the game over on ArtStation. And Daryl Mandrick, who's one of the concept artists working at Insomniac, posted his concept here of Venom, specifically what his playable moves were going to be like for that mission where you got to play as him in the game. And clearly you can tell actually that there were a lot of moves that didn't end up making the cut. There's this giant claw swipe, a double tentacle hammer fist, which I think he technically does as one of the takedowns, the giant bite, which looks very reminiscent of like a Marvel vs. Capcom move, which is awesome, the tentacle ball, which is something that you can already do as Symbiote Peter. But then there's also the double car fist smasher with giant Venom, kind of reminiscent of something that you could do as like the Hulk in like Ultimate Destruction. And then there's a skinny form, stretch out through gaps, a stealth mode, and even ranged incapacitator. And it's just weird, you know, there were so many different things they were going to do for this playable Venom section of the game that they didn't end up working on and maybe are saving for a Venom game. Stealth for sure is one of those things that makes you think like, are they working on a full game here? Because you want to have stealth in your game. That's something that a lot of people incorporate into their games. And how cool would it be to just be slithering through the vents as the symbiote, as Venom, creeping on these enemies? That would be awesome. I mean, having the cars, using that, again, very reminiscent of what you can do with the Hulk from those old games. I think that would be really, really fun as well. What we know is ahead from Insomniac is Marvel's Wolverine. They announced that at the PlayStation Showcase in 2021, so that's definitely on the way. There's rumors that might be coming out as early as next year, other rumors that it's going to be in 2025. Nevertheless, it looks like in about 2 years, that game's going to be in our hands, which is incredibly exciting. So if Insomniac were to be making a Venom game, it might not be something that we see until a bit later down the road, maybe after Wolverine comes out as like an in-between game to buffer to lead us into Marvel Spider-Man 3, which is essentially what they had done with Spider-Man Miles Morales. But then again, you know, between Miles Morales all the way to Spider-Man 2, it was still a 3-year wait. Let's just wait and see. Time will tell. Obviously, I'm going to keep you guys updated if we hear anything regarding DLC for Marvel Spider-Man 2, a Venom game, or anything of that sort. So make sure you keep it locked right here on this channel. Subscribe, turn on those notifications. You don't want to miss a thing. We're coming up on December now, finally, so I think we're going to be getting a pretty big content drop on the way. We're definitely going to be getting some new suits added to the game, whether you love them or not, and I think New Game Plus is on the way as well. Quite a bit on the way here. I'm really looking forward to jumping into New Game Plus. I've been needing it for Marvel Spider-Man 2. I also want some new suits for the game, and please, Insomniac, let us change the time of day and replay missions. Because, I mean, we all want to jump back and just replay that Venom playable mission over and over and over again. With that being said, let me now kick it to you guys. Sound off with your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think about all this information? Do you think that Insomniac is going to be working on a Venom game? And do you think that Tony Todd could have been hinting at that, considering that they didn't use 90% of what he had recorded for this character in the game? Sound off with all your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.